Guys, thank you for tuning in this week on the Insensitive Culture podcast. As always, if you enjoy our content, please have your friends rate, review, subscribe to the podcast. If they watch on YouTube, hit that like button, have them subscribe to that as well. And if you want to support us financially, go to insensitivemerch.com and cop you some gear. Stay drippy with Drippy. And on that note,
and here we go.
You want to be like? Sensitivity equals fucking poverty.
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Check it out, homie.
everyone, welcome to episode 106 of Insensitive Culture. As always, you know me.
What's up, what?
You know my guy over here.
And that fool Blazer, Ramon.
On the other end is usually but he's not here. And either way, we are still
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Make sure you check it out, homie.
Make sure you check it out, homie. And today we have a very, very special guest in studio. She is a model, an actress, singer, dancer, influencer. The list goes on, and I don't have enough time to list everything off.
That's why I just say Jill of all trades.
Yes, she is a Jill of all trades. But please welcome Miss Jillisa Lynn.
Thank you.
Thank
you guys for having me.
For sure.
I'm doing amazing.
On.
Not only am I home visiting my family, but I get to hang out with you cool guys in this amazing studio.
Thank you. See, she thinks we're cool.
I'm really appreciating just the collector's just mind here, and I feel like it's like every boy's dream going on around me. So
it seems very, very orchestrated, but in all reality, it's a contained chaos.
No, I love it. It's character. There's a lot of character going on in this room, guys.
If you let me, I will just have like storage bins filled with crap that means nothing to anyone but me, and people would just be in awe of it.
No, I love it. I love it. But I'm doing amazing. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. Again, thank you, because I know that you are on very limited time here on the East Coast.
Yes.
So we definitely appreciate you and your time. But I've had some questions because obviously I told you, you're very good friends with a friend of mine, Alex, and a long time ago, I just happened to remember that we worked at Sutherland together.
Yes, a call center, right? Sutherland call center. When you wrote me that, I was like, wow, okay, you have me at Sutherland. Like, not only the mutual friend like gained you some extra points, but then you hit Sutherland. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was very brief. I worked there for
like a month, and I remember being like, HP. It was like HP computers or something like that.
Yeah, I was in like AT&T. It was the worst place. That's the only job that I've ever walked out on.
Yeah,
because it was.
Yeah, me too. I was like, this is not for me. I started bartending at Smokin' Joe's. It was like fast money.
Well, yeah, bartending is definitely going to be a lot a lot better money than that. But I wanted to know. So I know that since then you have done so much.
Yes.
I don't know if you started with modeling or you started with something else, but I remember that you specifically you were doing a lot of modeling stuff in the city.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, you're in LA. Like, as far as, because I just didn't see you or anything like that. But what actually made you take that leap of faith and go to like all the way to LA? Because a lot of people kind of stay here.
Yeah.
And they'll do the modeling thing here, but never really go anywhere.
Well, what happened was I started modeling around 2007, which I feel like was right around the time that I was working at Sutherland, actually, which is so crazy because after then I went to Smokin' Joe's and I was only working 2 nights a week. So I was able to like do all these different photo shoots in Rochester, every surrounding state. Like I was in Pennsylvania, like in Connecticut, Columbus, like Ohio, New York City. I'm doing a lot of different photo shoots, just networking, building my portfolio. And then I ended up in Los Angeles in 2008 for a photo shoot for a magazine.
Oh, okay.
And I love telling this story. I'm like, yeah, here we go.
We love to hear it.
I'm like, wait, big breath. So I went to Los Angeles for a photo shoot for this magazine at the time, and it was my first time ever in Los Angeles. And I ended up at the Playboy Mansion eating dinner with like Hugh Hefner and Holly and Bridget and Kendra. And I was like, you know, obviously when I was younger, like the Girls Next Door was very big. So it's like as a young girl in high school, and I'm like, wow, I want to be beautiful like them. And I used to look at the Playboy magazine, and I always wanted to be in Playboy since I was young, honestly. And you know, to just experience that, and for me to be like my first time ever in Los Angeles. And I'm like, okay, if I could be here for 3 days and end up at the Playboy Mansion, and people live there their whole lives and don't even know where it is. I'm like, imagine what I could do if I like lived there for a few months. And I just, you know, the little 19-year-old me was sitting on the flight back to Rochester, New York, like getting ready to go back to Smokin' Joe's Bar and Grill, which I love. Like, I love everyone there, and I love the blues and jazz music, but I'm like, I felt like I was so much bigger than staying here. And, you know, for a year went by, and I got booked for another shoot in Los Angeles in May of 2009. So I went out there, I did a photo shoot, and I met this amazing couple that were like starting to do like an online magazine type social media. Like they were actually a little bit ahead of their time. So they started doing that, and they were like, we want you to be the face of it. Like, come out here, do a photo shoot. And I ended up clicking with the wife, and she was like, move out here. Like, you have to move to Los Angeles. And I was like, yes, I do. But like, how? I'm like 20 years old at the time. Like I'm about to turn 21 like a month later, right? I'm like bartending. I'm like, okay, like I'll go back and like save up some money and like figure it out, you know? Yeah. I came back for 1 month. I saved $500, which I thought was like a lot at the time. And I'm like, I'm packing my car. Like, Dad, can you ship my car to Los Angeles? Like, I bought a flight. I'm going. Like, I'm leaving this place. And I left 3 weeks after I turned literally 21. Wow. And I moved June 23rd, 2009. So I moved. I went there. About a month later, I signed with an agency, 90210 Talent, which I'm still with 13 years later.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, and it just, it just like
sure.
domino affected. Like I started doing music videos and all the modeling stuff and magazines, and it just like ripple affected into like acting and my music and all these other ventures that I have going on right now, which I'm sure we'll get into. So I don't want to spoil too much of it, but that's kind of like how I ended up in California. It was just from networking and being like, okay, what else can I do here?
But it took that first leap of faith to just be like, you know what, I'm going to take this opportunity.
Exactly.
And jump on a plane.
I was like, I'm doing it. Like, here we go.
Woo! And I noticed that you have dabbled in acting. You have quite a list on IMDb.
I do.
Yes, you do.
I've been very blessed. I actually
it's
just
awesome.
wrapped up shooting a new series the day before I came here.
Oh,
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
Can you talk about it?
A little bit, a little bit.
Okay.
So with the acting stuff, I actually, originally, like I said, my goal going to Los Angeles was because of modeling. And my agent was like, you have a look, like you have to get into acting. And I always tell this story too, because I think it's very amazing that I'm about to publish a book, because I wasn't a strong reader in school. So I was very hesitant on acting because I wasn't a strong reader in school. But my agent was like, no, you have to just like take a couple classes. Yeah. Well, come to find out, I'm very good at memorizing. So as soon as I was able to like memorize the character, I was able to turn it into an emotion and like bring life to her. And so I've actually feel like of all the arts that I'm involved in, acting is the most difficult for me to hone and the most challenging, which I feel like is also the most liberating once I get through like making the character. So it's kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, with that aspect. And then the new TV series I shot now is actually coming out on a new network. Everyone's probably familiar with FUBU, like the brand from back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they started a network for us, by us network. So it's kind of like, an Amazon and Netflix, like, a video streaming. So it's going to be one of the first series on that network. So I'm excited about it. Yeah, it'll be really fun.
All right, we're going to have to look into that.
I haven't heard that in a while, FUBU.
I know, right? And not in a long time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and all my other movies are obviously on IMDb too. I've worked with amazing actors and amazing films and TV shows and
that's what I was going to say. You're like tied to you've had some roles in everything from like Marlon to
Yes.
there was one you had with RZA.
Yeah.
I saw one with Bobby Lee. I was like, yo, she was in a movie with Bobby Lee.
I actually spoke Russian in that movie with RZA. I had to learn Russian, если у него. I don't know Russian. I'm Puerto Rican and Italian from New York, but
you could have fooled me from just what you did right
but
there.
I learned Russian, and that was so fun. That was AWOL 72. It was like a little Russian action movie, so that was fun
dope.
to do.
That's dope. So from your experience with all of these, from being in music videos and being in these TV shows and some movies, who is the most interesting celebrity that you've met? Like someone that you're just like, oh my gosh, oh my God, I can't believe I met that person.
I mean, okay, wait. Is it most interesting, or who was I most starstruck by?
Who are you most starstruck by?
Okay,
I want to hear the
go with
interesting
that.
too, though.
Okay,
I'm curious now.
Interesting would probably be Snoop Dogg's, Snoop Dogg's Don, the guy.
Oh yeah. What was his name? Don. The
you know
older
who I'm
dude with the
about.
pimp suit.
Yes, he's so funny. He's hilarious. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I can't either. I interviewed him on. You could totally picture him, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, Snoop Dogg's amazing, but I was most starstruck when I seen Mariah Carey and Justin Timberlake.
Ooh, okay.
Only
I could see
because
that.
growing up, I was in love with Mariah Carey, and then growing up I was also in love with Justin Timberlake. So there I am working on set of Justin Timberlake and Timberland's music video, and of all the music videos I've ever done, it was the most I just stay my P's and Q's. I wasn't trying to make really too much, other sets I'm hey, making friends. I was no, I'm on a really big set right now. I have to really be P's and Q's. There's Justin Timberlake right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The 11-year-old me was
Yeah, no, I can only imagine, because when I start to see these celebrities on the regular, I'm gonna be yo, this I'm gonna try to stay as cool as possible, but if I ever get to meet Will Smith or something or somebody like that, on the inside I'm gonna be freaking the hell out.
Yeah,
I may
that's
not
how
even
I
get a
was.
word
The
out.
very first person I met when I moved to Los Angeles was Denzel Washington, and the story behind it is so crazy because I was doing I'll tell you that story real quick. I was doing a photo shoot at a mansion, right? It was a location, because when you're photographers, you get access to all these different houses.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a photo shoot, and my photo shoot wraps up. So I'm I go into the house, and I'm all right, bye, to the owner, thank you so much for letting me use your space. I just moved to Los Angeles, so my mom was very don't talk to anybody. I don't care who they are. Keep yourself in a bubble. You know what I mean?
Total mom stuff.
So I'm I see this table full of people, and obviously I noticed him, and I was okay, well, bye, thank you. They're you're not gonna stay for dinner, and I'm no, I gotta go charge my phone. My phone's dead. My whole thought was let me get. I don't even know.
I just want to leave.
Right, and Denzel was just don't ever change, and I was what do you mean? And he's just don't ever change. There's something about you. And I was just wow. And he shook my hand, and he's just sit down and have some food. We'll get you a charger. Yeah. And I sat down there and had dinner, had my phone charged. It was the coolest experience. And then I left, and I was just wow, whatever that don't change was, I never did. So, I always just stayed the same. And
what did you have with Denzel? What were you eating?
Okay, so this is really funny. Okay, I'll go a little deeper into it. So he actually was just a guest at the house. So it was being served, but they were serving, tapas style, where they come in and they give the plates out.
Yeah.
Classy, of course.
So here's Denzel and here's me, and the lady comes around and she's grilled peanut butter and jelly. And he's no. And I was I'll take one. And I put it, and he's well, and I bit it, and I'm he's well, now you're making me want one. And he literally picked up my sandwich off my plate, which probably people wouldn't do this nowadays. But he picked it up off my plate. And he bit my sandwich and put it back. And I was well, and now you tried a crispy peanut butter and jelly sandwich. How's that feel?
So what you're trying to tell us is that somehow, in a way, you made out with Denzel Washington.
I mean, unintentionally, right? Unintentionally.
After
but
he
it was,
snagged the sandwich,
yeah.
I would have just been don't ever change, Denzel. Don't ever change.
I
You
should have.
That would have
I
been.
think I was so nervous.
I would have been running that through my head over and over all night driving home. What should I have said to Denzel?
I was dang, I didn't even give him my number. No, I'm just I was so nervous. I was let me get out of here.
Yeah, that is a crazy story. I don't even know what I would say to
actually
Denzel.
never told that story in
That's
an
awesome.
interview.
We broke it. We're breaking
that was
it
an
here.
interview exclusive.
You heard that here first, folks.
Can we tag Denzel?
Yeah, I don't
in
know
that?
what
Would he-
camera
would
to
he
go
comment?
to. That's a good one.
You know, it's interesting because you said, your mom gave you all this advice and stuff like going out
I had
there.
like a 3-page letter that I didn't read till like 3 months after going there. She's like, open this one day when you need me. 3 months in, I'm like bawling, like, I'm going to open this letter now.
that was actually one of my questions is like, because in a lot of families, there's hesitation.
Yeah.
Because specifically like families or some sort of pressure that's put on them for, going after dreams, you know? How was that support system for you?
Amazing. Like, honestly, I'm so incredibly blessed, like not only from the support of my mother and my friends and my family, but just like of everyone who I've been blessed to encounter. Like, God has put people on my path that are cheerleaders of mine. I really don't have any haters. And if I do, it's like, they're in the mix. And I know people say you haven't made it unless you have haters, but it's like, you can stay over there. Like, I push positivity and like, I don't need any of that. I don't feed into any of that. So I've been very, very blessed. My family, was so supportive. This letter that I read from my mom was like, I was in tears, reading it. She was just, basically like, I already knew you were a star. Like, go show the world now. And like, you're ready for Hollywood, but is the question, Hollywood ready for you? That was her mindset. Like, don't ever think that you can't do something. Like, her whole mentality is like, go until you can.
In all honesty, the thing that Denzel said to you, don't ever change. I can actually see that.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like no matter how much you've accomplished even to this point, right? And I know that you are going to accomplish so much more.
Thank you.
But even up to this point, right? It's very easy to see someone and feel like maybe like you're above them or something like that. And I said it. I was like, I was talking to Alex. I'm like, she seems like she's so down to earth.
Yeah,
she's just always
it.
seems like very happy. So it's just and I think that's what shines through. You're not scared to be yourself while letting that shine through, and that's a natural part of you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and that comes, I feel like, from my mom and my family and my culture, and just growing up, like, it's so close, like,
right.
I've stayed humble, and I always come back here because I feel like otherwise they kick my ass. So you'd be like, you changed, and I'm like, I'm not trying to hear that. It's like I changed in a good way. I've evolved. Like, I've slowed down a little bit because I used to be, more rebellious.
No, you come home, you make empanadas.
Yeah, and right, exactly. Smoke my joint, and I'm good to go.
And if you didn't know, she is definitely a weed advocate. So
yes, and I also have a cooking show, Bunny Bites. So I also am a food advocate.
You have a line of honey.
Yeah,
Is that true?
I'm coming out. I have so many things going on. Let me just touch on that.
Let us know what you have
Yeah,
going
you guys.
on.
So I have a clothing boutique shop today.
Look at you.
This jacket is from there. And my album just came out, Mixed Emotions. So it is streaming on all platforms. You guys can check that out.
Go cop that, Mixed Emotions.
Yes, a honey line. I'm working on a new honey and tea line called Hint of Her.
Okay.
Yeah, because
that's something new. I've never seen anyone say, "Yo, I have a line of honey."
Yeah, so it came from honestly like a couple things. Like, I have this weird love and obsession for bees. Like, I always have, and I don't know why, but like, I used to save them. Like, I used to live this place where I had a pool, and I had this specific like bee pool, and I would go out and I would like save the bees in the morning because there was always one like every week floating, just like, save me. Like, I want to, go pollinate something. So I'm like, let me just save it. I just kept praying and like manifesting. I'm like, Lord, what do you have for me that is so different from everything else that everybody's doing in my industry that's an influencer, but that also means something for me that everybody can consume or use? And like, signs just up, like, kept coming to me. Like, it was like one of my girlfriends had like a honey product. It was like, I seen like a Save the Bees, like, license plate. It was like all these different signs just kept coming to me. And I was like, I'm going to make my own honey line. And I started just doing research, and I found a bee farm, and I adopted into like a beehive. And so I'm going to visit the farm actually in a few weeks. I just got my samples. I'm like working on like all my like labels and all my fun like marketing and branding. So that's kind of like my project that I'm finishing up right now, as well as my book. that I'm publishing by my birthday, hopefully.
So can we ask, what is your book about?
Yeah, so my book is it's titled Thoughts of Serenity.
Okay.
So words of affirmation, healing, and encouragement to a happier today. So basically, it is 1 page a day you read throughout the year, and it's like encouragement to a happier today. So it might be words of healing, it might be encouragement, it might be affirmations that I have you like repeat to yourself that day. Like each day is like a different deliverance of something. But the whole book all says the same thing. Like, so you'll hear me or you'll read from it and almost hear me repeat myself different times throughout the book, but I'm saying them in different ways. And I will address that too. Like I'm saying this to you in 365 different ways because I want you to like realize like what the message of this book is. So I'm very excited about it.
That's
I've
awesome.
been working on it for a couple of years. So
When can we expect that?
I'm trying to publish it by my birthday, which is June 6th.
Okay.
So I just finished it. It's going into like proof editing and book design, and then I'll publish it on Kindle and a couple other places.
Definitely.
So
I love it. I love it. That's right up my alley. That's pretty much everything. So I will be copying. That's pretty much everything that I normally read when I do get a chance to read. So I'm definitely going to grab a copy of that.
Yay. And I wanted to make it like an easy read so that people don't feel like they're like reading, the whole book. That'll be my second book. Like when I start doing like the autobiographies and like the thrillers.
Yeah.
But this one is like really important just to like uplift people that one day. All they have to do, dedicate to themselves is like that little time.
That's awesome.
So
yeah, I've always thought about doing something like that. I did a children's book. But maybe at some point I'm gonna pick your brain on what do I do?
Yeah, and I'm gonna actually make a children's book version of it too. So it'll be like a 30-page like children's book of it that's like simplified, obviously, into like their words.
And that would be great because I'm one of the parents that subscribe to every day giving my kids affirmations and things.
See, I love that.
Sort.
So it'll be like a little affirmation book for them.
I grew up with a lot of self-esteem issues, so that's like my biggest fear is that they grow up with the same thing. I want them to be positive.
Yeah, shut it down.
No.
They know.
They have to be with it.
It's very important to know other people's opinions like never define us.
For sure.
Which is why I just am like screw.
So, and obviously we've already talked about your movie career and everything, but what is like a dream role that you?
Honestly, like for me, because I'm a gymnast and I still do gymnastics. I still tumble. I'm still athletic. So like an action movie where I'm like tumbling or flipping or like I'm a superhero. But I would also really love to book like a series, like a How to Get Away with Murder series or like one of those like, investigative. Like I think those would be really good too. I would do good at like a, discovering and solving a case or something.
Of course. No, I can definitely see that.
Once I get out of like, the typecasting role, which happens because, it's Hollywood. So
yeah, it just seems like once you get that break though, once they give you that opportunity and you grab hold of it, like I know you will. It's
all matter of
right.
It's all it takes is that one thing. But I've been in this industry for 15 years.
Yeah.
So I've definitely put in my work, and I know that at the end of the day, what is meant for me will come to me, and what is not meant for me is just not meant for me. So I don't get discouraged. I feel like I just started. I feel like I have so much more work to do, and I just keep consistent, and that's the hard part I think for a lot of people. Is to stay consistent.
Just keep working hard, stay consistent.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't say it any better than Denzel, right? Stay
Yeah,
true to yourself.
Exactly. Stay who I am.
Stay who you are, and that will carry you very, very far. And I noticed that did you make the move to Atlanta now? Or?
Yeah, so I know, it's so crazy. So yeah, I did. I moved to Atlanta at the end of 2020. Like,
A lot of people are making that move outside of LA,
I needed some new inspiration. I started booking work, and I was just like, LA was really closed down, and it's always a second home to me. I've, made my ground there. It's like I have all my resources, all my amazing friends and family there that I've been so blessed to work with and just like have in my life on this journey. So no matter what, I can always go back. But I was like, if I was to ever move anywhere, it would be Atlanta. Okay. And then I had the opportunity, and my girlfriend lived there, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go.
Just make the move.
Yeah. So
'Cause
I've been
Atlanta-
making it work, and I just filmed my first project there. So it was kind of cool because, you know, when I first moved there, I was kind of just finishing up my album.
Sure.
And then I was like, okay, let me start shooting again, getting content. I did some magazines and like started working on my book. And then I was like, okay, my little Jill of all trades mind was like, what next? And that's where like the honey came from. So it's like one
That's
thing
where the bees
after
live?
another. Yeah.
They're in Atlanta too.
Yeah, the bees are actually in Asheville, North Carolina. So by Blue Ridge Mountains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
my goal is like I'm manifesting right now to have like a flow hive honey in a big backyard, like, and I'm gonna have my own little like bees,
Like a Willy Wonka river of honey.
Exactly. Wait till you see my bee suit shoots. Like I'm getting ready.
Yo, if Rick Ross can collect cattle, you can collect bees.
Exactly.
Okay?
You know what I mean? So, and the story behind Hint of Her, real quick, just because I know that you guys have stuff to do.
No, you're
but
good.
I don't know if like people know, but honeybees are actually all lady bees. So, Hint of Her, honey.
That makes sense.
Hint of Her, honey, because it's like
Sense.
all the girls are making hard at work making the honey.
Yeah,
you know? So that's where
yeah.
it came from. And then
All the guys are wasps, right?
yeah, no, all the guys are wasps. They just
we're
come
just
in to get the
dangerous.
queen.
Is that true? That's like all guys, like wasps are all guys and like
Well-
honeybees are all females? Is that-
Well, honeybee, like there's so many different species of bees,
Yeah.
but like the honeybees, the ones that create bees,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're the worker bees. They produce the honey and like go get the nectar and the pollen for the bee bread. They call it bee bread when they bring back little pollens.
little chunks of
little chunks of pollen. But so the male only comes to like, you know, impregnate the queen, and then
That's
he's
it.
out. Like,
Yeah.
What a gig.
Your work is good.
Rolls
You
up.
have no
It's like, is it time?
responsibilities.
Yep.
Like,
All right.
no child support, no nothing. Don't you
Dip
wish that
out.
was all your dream?
Grab some
Did
of
my
the
job.
chunks and just fly the fuck
Grab
away.
some of this bee pollen bread.
Did my job.
Yeah, exactly.
Sign me up. But
that was-
interviewing?
you guys can come visit my farm.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Look at she's giving us the invitation now. So just so
you heard
know,
it. It's on the record. You can't take that back. When we show up, it's like, hey, remember you said we could.
I'll be like, I got your bee suits. What size you in?
oh man. So that's so
Yeah,
that's so
super
awesome.
fun.
And Atlanta was not a bad move. I
Yeah,
hear
it
I
wasn't.
just hear so many people are moving away from LA
Yeah.
for many reasons, you know.
How different
but
is it? Like, how different is the vibe? And because I mean, it has to be
Oh my God,
crazy
it's-
different.
Yeah, I mean, it's so. I mean, when I first got there, I was like, "Where did I just move to?" I'm
Yeah.
like the streets are really tiny. It's like, you know, kind of like much slower pace there. But then you get on the expressway and you like, you know, there's like a meme that I seen that's like very true. It's like you miss one exit in Atlanta and you're in Dubai. It's like true. It's like in LA, it's like everything goes like this. Like you miss your exit, you just get on and get back off. Like this one. Atlanta is not like that. So the driving, you know, is honestly better in LA, in my opinion.
Really?
In
Yeah,
my
okay.
opinion, because it's just as much traffic. It's just
Right.
way more complicated in Atlanta than it is there. But I love the food in Atlanta. I love the beach in LA. I don't like the cold in Atlanta, you know, but I don't
Right.
really care for the cold in LA either.
How cold does
Yeah.
it get in Atlanta? It's like,
It gets cold. It
yeah?
gets down to like
Really?
30s.
Really?
But then there's bonuses. Moisture in Atlanta. Dry
Dry
as
ass,
fucking
yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
So, you know, like,
I can understand that.
yeah. Torn in between
And you're from
two.
Rochester, so you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
everything
Hell
is better
yeah.
than Rochester.
Exactly.
as
I
far
mean,
as
but
the
it's
weather.
always home.
Yeah,
The
yeah, of
Rock
course.
is always home.
Of course.
You know, it made me so.
Yeah, no, and
Between here and Florida, because I did live in Florida too. I've
Florida?
lived everywhere. I've lived
Okay.
all over Rochester. I actually lived in Jamestown, New York for a while, if anybody is familiar with
I've been
that.
to Jamestown. Yeah, I've been to Jamestown. That
yeah,
is very
Jamestown, Florida. I've lived everywhere.
very small.
Been to a lot of schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Lived the life, guys.
That's
I'm just
awesome.
trying to make it and hustle, you know?
You know, and you're doing well. And
Hell yeah.
and honestly,
Thank
that
you.
I think that helped
Yeah.
set like some sort of
No, it did.
precedent for everything.
Absolutely.
Like just moving around and getting the feel
Yep.
of different places. That is something I've said it many times before that I just feel like a lot of people are just used to where they have been their entire lives,
complacent,
and they're entire, like, they're so scared to move out of that. So
Absolutely.
for someone who is we'll call it cultured,
and
very
cultured, very
moved
cultured.
around,
Oh yeah,
of course,
Yeah.
worldly.
Take that line.
No,
Worldly,
it
I
did.
I like that.
Absolutely. No, it's true. I feel like it made me like adaptable, you know,
Sure.
to be able to have, like you said, the guts to just go over there. Like what gave me that? I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do it. The worst that could happen is nothing. I could come back.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
But here I am 13 years later and
that
I only
is-
come to visit.
And that's a good thing because
Yeah.
you're here for
Don't
some
get
good
stuck.
moments.
Yeah.
Spend time with family, and then
In and
you
out.
go, and you're in and out.
I get like my dose of home. I like come back and I'm just like, suck it up, and then I go back.
And
it
enough
almost
is
like
probably enough. Though,
it
at
is.
some point, you're
No,
like,
it
I
is.
need to go.
It is, and
home
but
now.
it like inspires
Yeah,
me too.
sure.
You know, I'm like, okay, this is why I go so hard. Like, okay, you still have work to do. Like, don't get content or complacent. Like,
Well, yeah, and at some point you want to be able to bring your
Yeah.
family with you,
Exactly.
and and have them closer to you.
I would love that.
Of course,
I
of
do. I
course.
get them to visit as much as I can, but there's some strings still attached.
Sure.
But they'll come when they're ready.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, of course. No, I love hearing it. I love hearing any story where someone it doesn't matter where you go
Yeah.
or what you do. What matters is that you're happy, and I love hearing those stories that make people happy. You know?
Yeah.
And in your case, it's moving away, getting into
Yes.
this Hollywood scene, and getting compliments from Denzel.
That's a great one. That's a good one. Thanks, Denzel.
and
Appreciate it.
and
Good
starting
memory.
a honey company. I love it. I love
I'm
it.
excited. I'm really excited.
I know since you are so close to the industry with mutual friends.
Yeah.
And you like to get in. You like to smoke and partake.
420 friendly.
Yeah. Are there any plans for something like that, or can't we talk?
Like an
we can't
infused
No,
talk-
yeah,
honey,
I actually
maybe?
have. Well, no, we did talk. We were actually conversing about infused honey, but I did come out with like a paper line that actually is for sale.
Okay.
At Alex's Vape.
Okay.
And at Room 331.
Okay.
Which, you guys know that's like
Okay.
speculating over here with the No Blam. You guys know they're making
Of
their
course.
waves in Rochester because hello.
For sure.
It's legal here now, you guys. That is amazing.
It
Like
is
I
great.
couldn't even believe I was at the Cannabis Fest smoking at the Main Street Armory with like the mayor there. Like, how does that happen?
I didn't go to that.
It's-
one.
I
went to
hosted.
the outside
I
one.
hosted the Room 331 in No Blam's booth. So there I am, just like a cloud of smoke at the Main Street Armory. The last time I was there, I remember it being like a concert.
Yeah,
That's what
right?
I remember too. Yeah, I remember
distorted
smoking
audio
it
And
all
I'm
the
just
time.
like, this is crazy. And then afterwards, I'm like reading like the mayor's reviews. I'm just how much support he has for the cannabis industry and just how much that it can do for not only the community, but just the advocates and the patients and the people who really do need it, and also the recreational of it, because nobody gets high and goes and like does some angry shit or like gets into an accident. It's like they just want to chill and be happy and like be in their own world. So
I hate when they make it seem.
100% am a hippie baby.
I hate when they make it seem like, oh, if you're driving high, you're gonna, like it impairs.
Yeah, like it impairs your vision.
I don't
It's
I don't get high as much anymore.
Right.
But anytime that I've driven high, I remember being the
Right.
most careful I've ever been in my life.
You were
you're
going
like
2 miles an
strategic,
hour
right?
down the road. You had no idea.
Well, you can pull over that too. And I'm just like, that's funny. But no, I absolutely do support it. And living in Los Angeles for
sure,
11 years, I learned
It's life.
so much about it. Just, the strands and the plants and just everything and the crossbreeding of it and stuff. So it's kind of just fun to see it all come to fruition in our city and like be able to be just involved in it. So it's really great.
What's the name of your papers brand?
So it's called Canna Queen. I haven't really like officially launched it, but I did get, them some papers to put out. So I'm still like in limbo whether I'm going to or not. So I'm figuring
So
it
if
out.
you are in the Rochester area,
Go
head
to
on
room
over to room
331.
331.
Yeah, and No
and
Blam.
pick up some
Monroe
of your
Avenue.
papers. Yeah.
You guys.
What's the full address? 490
490 Monroe Ave.
So go ahead and pick up some of your papers.
Yes, 490
I love
Monroe
it.
Avenue.
All right. So we are going to include you in
Yeah.
our questions segment. It's not anything specific to
Okay.
you. It is going to be something that we all answer.
Okay.
And if you refuse to answer it, that is perfectly fine.
No,
we
yeah, I
completely
wanna
understand.
play.
But if you have a problem with these questions,
Play.
just
I don't
know.
know what I just like agreed to, but
Just know
we'll
that
see.
the guy that chose these questions, I'm not going to point any elbows at him, but
No, actually, I did have a question tailored for you. Just
Okay,
listening,
perfect. I
because
love it.
before you
Yeah,
came
of
on,
course.
I always like to do a little research if we're going to
Yeah,
have someone on, and I saw that you were, like you said, modeling, acting, like everything. If you had to pick one, like that's it. You can't do any of the other ones. Like, what is your pet? Like, what do you love? What would you go with, and why?
Love that that you asked that. So if you would have asked me this question 10 years ago, I probably would have been like modeling, because like I wasn't really doing anything else.
Sure.
Now at this point in my career, because I've done everything I wanted to do with modeling, I've been in music videos, magazines. I was Miss June for Playboy in 2017. I've done like numerous like boutiques and fashion shows and little clothing campaigns. So of course I would love to do more with modeling, but I feel like all of my goals were met with the modeling. I feel like, as well as my music, I just released my second album as an independent artist, and I actually have fans. So it's like,
Feels
you
good.
know, I feel like I wasn't trying to be, Mariah Carey. That was a passion project for me. And, I used to just sing really, really, really well, but then I smoked and, was a cheerleader and damaged my voice and didn't hone my craft. And that project was for me. Like, my music is a passion project. Like, those were for me. So I feel like I did everything in the music. So if I had to pick one, it would be acting, because the music and the modeling, I feel like I've accomplished everything in. And the acting, I feel like I'm just getting my feet wet. And there's so much more I can learn about the craft and about just taking in the character and breaking down, why is she trying to get this reaction out of you? Instead of just reciting the line and trying to get a feeling, there's so many layers of acting and being able to just like be on those sets for 3 months at a time. Like, you're shooting 12, 13-hour days. Like, that's a huge challenge, but I would love to face it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also just have the residuals of it. I mean, I'm just saying.
Just the bonus.
It's the most lucrative.
Yeah.
But, and all my business ventures are just, they're fun. I'm an entrepreneur, so it's fun to be able to do. So, yeah, I would definitely, and should, my agent would love to hear, focus more on my acting.
I love it. That's such a good question. Thank you.
I was just thinking, I was like, I think she's going to pick acting, like based on how you were talking about it and how you like sort of lit up. You're like, the challenges and rewarding. I was like, she would go, like, there's no way she wants to make honey for the rest of her. Like,
no, I would love
but
to.
Like,
but no,
acting,
I would.
You really were like all about it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
but I would love to raise some bees and have somebody else take care of my honey farm.
And bees are like endangered too. So like,
that's why. That's like
huge
so
too.
important.
Like,
like our world, we would not be able to have a world without bees, you guys, because we need them to pollinate everything.
Sure.
It's like a chain effect.
Look at my,
right?
that's the
like
Italian in me. I'm like always talking with my hands.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, and I always like to think that's why the world is beautiful, right?
Yeah.
It's all the flowers
I
and
agree.
everything. None of that can happen with bees. We'll just live in a
Exactly,
desert,
guys.
in a big ass
need
desert.
That air.
I love that question though. And
thank
not only
you.
that, but like the honey thing, that will. I think that's just one thing that will just always be there. But the main thing will always be like the acting. And
Absolutely.
stuff.
And then
For
my
sure.
clothing
I'm trying to
boutique,
get there.
Jade, shopjade.com with my
Jade.com.
girlfriend. Yeah, we have it's a his and hers. So we actually have like men's clothes too, and hats and fun stuff.
It's like honeybee colors too, like the black.
Yeah,
and
this little jacket. I know. I felt like it was.
Just put that together too. That's like subliminal shit, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah, he's intuitive.
So just all my little projects,
I love it. No, I love it.
Consistent.
You have,
Don't ever change.
Thank you.
It sounds familiar. I don't know where I got that from, but it sounds like good advice that you should probably heed.
I'm gonna keep that, right? Yeah, actually,
tuck that away for
you know
some
what?
rainy day.
I think we just found the I literally think we just named my autobiography.
Oh, there you go. Don't ever change. Look at that.
Mark
You
the
can
words
credit
in
me
here.
with that if you want.
Right?
You don't have to. I just whatever you want to go with. Is,
Right? That would be good.
I love it.
How she never changed.
I think that would be an amazing name for the book.
Cool. I love that.
Awesome.
We'll work on that. More on that to come.
yeah.
For now, stay tuned for Thoughts of Serenity.
Thoughts of Serenity
So let me
available
get to
when?
this question. By June 6th, which is my
June
birthday,
6th.
you guys.
By
I
June
won't tell you
6th.
how old I am,
June
but
6th.
34 because I'm so proud. I'll be 34 June 6th.
Damn.
I never have had a Hollywood age because I was like, you know what? I'm going to age gracefully, and I'm proud to be here. It's a blessing each year.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I just played a 23-year-old.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You could be if they did Grease again, you could be in like a sophomore in
They
high
could
school.
do it.
So
They
you're-
could really do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
What's the next question, dude?
So we're all movie fans.
Yeah.
Last movie that made you cry?
Last movie that made me cry.
One of us could go first if you need a little
Yeah.
time to think about it.
Yeah.
You get pretty emotional sometimes. So I'm
I
wondering what
I get emotional with movies.
inspiration.
That,
The inspirational movies really get you.
It's not necessarily the inspiration. It's more of the underdog. The underdog story that, you know, people overcome. So I want to say the last one, it didn't make me fully cry, but the last one that kind of, you know, how you get that little ball in your throat and you're just like, man, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
You know,
Like,
but
it's affecting you. It's like affecting you. It's like,
yeah.
For sure.
A little bit was the what's King Richard.
Yeah.
I think that's out of the.
I haven't seen it.
So King Richard is the movie with Will Smith. He plays Venus and Serena Williams' father.
Oh wow!
And he plays that role so well.
Amazing.
You know, and just seeing how hard he pushed his girls and how hard he worked to instill what we talked about, right?
Right.
That faith. You know, stopping the press, like, and that's documented. You can see the interview when he stopped the man asked him, like, aren't you scared? And he's like, whoa, like, why would you put that thought in this little girl's head?
Right.
You know, so like, but that movie is just filled with that stuff. So that was the last one for me.
Nice. I don't remember. I feel like all I watch is like little thrillers and stuff. I'm very big on like weird, like independent movies too, because I watch the way that they're like shot.
Sure.
And like, I watch movies very differently now. I'll say that because now I'm like, okay, there's the angle and the back angle. And like, I'm looking for like continuity. And I'm like, wait, her hand wasn't up like that. Like, I'm like looking from like a totally different angle. So it's fun to watch it with your actor friends when you can, because then you can like pick apart and dissect it. But I really can't think of one of the last movies. I cry all the time on my own. Like once a month.
I watch
once
movies
a
to be
month,
happy.
every 21 days, the cycle. No, I'm just like, and I'm crying.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Some people, you know, it really is like those are the only movies that really get me like that.
I have to like watch like thrillers in order to like stay like tuned.
I love them.
Okay.
I love them.
Zoomed in.
Love them. You have a movie you cried?
Actually, the Adam Project.
You cried at the Adam Project?
It was.
Okay.
I wasn't like bawling, but
No,
like
he was
there was
bawling.
a couple
He was
parts
crying.
where, like you said, like the lump in your throat, where it's like. It's just like a little like
Yeah,
tear,
it's
like
the dad thing,
Denzel
right?
tear comes
Yeah.
down. Yep.
The whole dad aspect of it? Okay,
Yeah.
I get
Yeah,
you.
for
I
sure.
get
I love it.
For those of you who don't know, it actually just came out.
It did.
It was starring
it was just-
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Netflix.
I love
and
Ryan Reynolds.
Mark Ruffalo.
That's
So
cool.
good. Yeah, it's an action movie. It's good. It's very good. And that kid did very well playing a young Ryan Reynolds.
Agreed.
Amazing.
So awesome. What's the last question?
Last question. Okay. And this, I mean, like we said, you've traveled, you've movies. I'm sure you've been in a lot of crazy places.
Right.
Like the shadiest place you've ever had to shit or use the bathroom in general. Anything weird, like on set anywhere?
I mean, I feel like the weirdest place anybody would ever have to like use the bathroom would be like a porta potty, right? At like a rave or like a amusement
like a
park
like
or
a
something,
festival or something?
right?
Like,
that's like,
That's ballsy.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I don't know.
bad.
I don't
That
think
is
that
pretty
would.
bad.
That's
me,
actually
no,
might be
I'm
worse.
like a
That might be
squatter.
worse.
Like no matter where I am, I'm
There's
squatting.
no-
like
no
I don't
contact
do
made.
these many squats in real life for not to be able to like. I don't touch the seats.
It's just
like,
training.
Yeah, I don't.
I was taught that when I was little, though. My mom was like, "You better not put."
Yeah, I mean that has to be the answer because I can't think of a time where it was like that much of an emergency that I had to go somewhere.
No, yeah, it definitely was for
So
me at like my first and only ever rave.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
And I'm
probably
just
the
like, do I
last.
really
You're like,
have to
this
use
is
the bathroom
not-
right now? And I feel like I'm getting sick. Like I'm about to get sick. Like
Yeah. So I have to go.
Yeah.
That's a have to for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I guess for me, it's also anytime that I've had to go at a porta potty and
It's
mainly
gotta be bad, right? You
mainly-
don't just think,
well, yeah.
try to pee at a porta potty. Like you have to go if you're in a porta
yeah,
potty.
and
Like,
us as
it's
guys,
an
we
emergency.
don't we're not as easy. You know, we don't think like squat. So it's always like
Right.
a
Yeah,
weird
we don't have
situation when we have to do
don't have to
something
sit.
like that.
Yeah.
Because
that's
you don't
a whole
want to
different
like try
factor
to lay
that we
stuff
don't have
down.
to worry about. Like the not sitting, like that's huge.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah.
huge. Just to be able to pee anywhere and not have to worry about your ass
Well, the question-
touching anything.
Right. You
The
guys
question
got it
has to do
easy.
with poop. So in those situations, like like you're trying,
Yeah.
like you would have to do what you do, but you know, like you said,
Yeah.
from a young age, I think
Yeah.
all women kind of go through that where it's
kind
like
of different. It's
hover.
like we're used to. It's like a
Hover. The
little
hover.
easier for us. The hover, yeah.
Right. For guys, that's
Right.
not even in our head. So when
Yeah.
it's an emergency, we just deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might hover if I go in a porta potty, dude. Like I think I would do my best to not make any contact with it.
I think you have a very direct answer for this.
No, it's just like when I was a kid, we used to have to go camping on this like land down south, like
I
in
love
the
camping.
southern tier, and it was the funnest shit ever. But like literally, there was no running
Pun not
water. There
intended.
was an outhouse,
Yeah.
and like we would have to kill snakes in the outhouse. Like when we got there to start camping.
Oh,
so like
wow.
I was always afraid that like worst fear, like a
Right.
snake's gonna bite your ball or whatever, dude. Like anything down there, like is totally
You
not
never
cool.
know.
So like there was no like even in a porta potty you have like the blue water that kind of helps. Like it's not ideal,
Right.
but this is just like a pit. With
Yeah.
Pit. It was
Yeah.
the grossest. Like I can smell it still. To
Yeah,
this
see,
day.
my
It
shit
was-
don't smell, and I don't even just say that because I'm like trying to be cute, but it's because
That's
what
it.
you eat. It's really has
as
to
long
do
as
with
you're
what
eating
you eat.
healthy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Although in the situation that he's talking
If we're
about,
getting on the
it's
topic.
with what other
No,
people
it's
eat
fine.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
so like, I
that's
can't help with
You
that.
know?
the problem with
It was-
that
Yeah,
one.
see, that's where you fuck up
It
when you
was
go on the
not
porta potty. I'll
organic,
just
yeah.
stay clear of all of them. Well, now that we got really personal, guys, make sure you carry baby wipes with you too wherever you go. So
yeah.
that you make sure
Yes.
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Clean up after
smart.
yourself.
Yeah.
Don't
You know,
leave
I
a
always
dry,
just
crusty
carry.
booty.
I always carry a portable bidet with me everywhere that I go, and I use it
There
whenever.
you go.
No,
Well,
I'm kidding. I
it's
don't
Just
even
a
know
water
those exist.
bottle with water in it. It's not even a bidet. So
No.
I mean, hey, you might be onto something. A little portable pocket bidet.
Hey, you just
But shit.
drill a hole right in the top of a water bottle and squeeze. You're good.
that's not sanitary at all. That's just making
Next
a mess.
question.
That's
Next
making a mess.
question. Next question.
I think
That
we're-
was it.
I
That
think
was
that
That
was
was it.
it.
That was it. Well,
Yeah.
and on that shitty note,
Oh,
guess
man.
No, we had to have you express yourself.
Yeah, no.
with a question that
I
was
mean,
just.
I'm
off
pretty
of the
down
box.
to earth. Like, it's
No, I
not
love
like
it.
I'm a realist. It's like we're humans.
Everyone
like,
shits.
yeah,
Everyone-
right,
everybody
exactly.
poops.
If you take anything from this
Right.
conversation, remember it's that anyone shits.
Yeah.
No, but Jillisa,
And
thank
if you have honey, like
Yes.
the antibacterials and the antioxidants,
Ooh,
will
that's
really,
another one.
You know, game
Honey
playing.
poops.
Yeah.
Honey
Just
poops.
like-
Honey poops. I love it. Episode title.
so
I called it out this time. I know. I called it out this time.
That's frowned
No.
upon, guys. He just broke the rule.
No, but Jillisa, thank
Yes.
you so
Yes,
much
thank
for
you
your
so
time.
much.
both
I
Very,
know
for
that you
very
have
having
to
me.
run, but
Good times.
I just wanted to say that we appreciate you
Of
coming into
course.
the studio. I know that you're here to spend time with family and friends, and
okay. It was
and
so
for
nice.
a limited time. So
It was so nice.
Kick it.
I enjoyed the energy. I enjoy the show. I'm looking forward to hearing the episodes, seeing what else you
Nice.
guys come up with, coming
gonna get
back and
crazy,
seeing
yeah.
how the collection, grows
Has
and
grown.
stuff. So
Well, hopefully the next
Yeah.
time you come back, we will be in a much bigger space.
A little bit.
because
little bit
that's
bigger.
no, I like it though.
our. We like to grow around here, and
Right.
we're gonna take a page from.
We
got to
find
Well,
our
I'm,
Atlanta.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
Sure.
you do.
Sure.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you follow me, Jillisa Lynn. Of
course.
You know,
That's what I was
sure.
gonna ask. If you
Yeah.
let them know where they can find you.
just Jillisa Lynn. It's pretty consistent.
Okay.
Jillisa
Jillisa Lynn
Lynn.
on all socials. Remember to look for her honey, for her book, for her album.
All
Cop
that.
it all. And support her the way we
I
would
got the
support her.
link tree in my bio, so it has
Yes.
like all like the little rundown, all the links you need to know. Just click the link in my bio.
I love it. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
guys. Thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
see you guys later.
Bye.
585 for life.
Yeah. Yo, that was dope though.
That was.
Yeah.
That was
I
really
enjoyed
good.
it. I enjoyed her a lot. She's very cool. Down to earth. I don't know. Thank you again, Jillisa, for coming in and talking to us. Because that was fun.
Couple of schlubs like us.
Couple of schlubs
Damn.
like us. She's gonna come back.
Dropping a fire ass Denzel story. God damn, bro. That was, I can't even.
I don't even know what it would be like to talk to Denzel.
I couldn't even, that was the whole time I was like, you spoke? Like, I would just have froze, like.
He'd have been like, yo, sit down. And I'd have been like, oh, shit.
Alonzo Harris? It's like, Jake. So scary.
Sit your ass down.
Okay. Yes, sir. Mr. Denzel, sir.
Oh, man, that's crazy. But awesome, man. Great guest. Again, thank you again, Jillisa. But even though we have no Johnny, we can talk on a couple things.
A couple news things.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
You know what it's time for. News clips.
You know what it's time for. It's we're gonna talk about a couple of things that have happened recently. I'm not quite gonna do it like Johnny, where we'll forget about it next week, but maybe we will. The biggest news that came out recently is fucking Tom Brady calls off his retirement. Yo, I love the meme. I love the meme that says he spent 1 month with his family and decided, nope, I'm playing football.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? Enough of this bullshit. My favorite was, and this was he announced it in the tweet. Mm-hmm. He said that he had unfinished business.
Ooh.
The man has 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
What is unfinished? What does he need? Does he need to take other people's rings away from them? Like, it seemed like a nice end to a very storied and impressive career. Nothing seemed unfinished about it, but it's just in his mind, that drive is still burning in him. I think that is maybe what's unfinished, but it seemed funny when I read it.
Did he win a ring with Tampa Bay?
He did.
He did?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
so that's what I'm saying. Like, it seemed like a very finished career, but I mean, I love the guy. I respect him. He's a great player. I was not unhappy. It's not like I have to, he doesn't play against the Packers all the time.
Sounds like
it's going to be a good time.
Everyone was happy with
that. I mean, everybody except like probably people in that division that thought they were going to not get their ass beat by Tom Brady, a couple times a season, but they will, at least for one more year.
Yeah. Oh my God. So it's gonna be an interesting year. Johnny, I know we had to cover that because I know that Johnny is super excited about that.
I mean, he was down in the dumps, bro. Like, he thought this next season was just gonna be trash because without Brady, like, you got some good players on that team, but you're not a contender like Brady was making them. So yeah, that had to be huge. I could only imagine. I wish Johnny were here. It sucks that we're talking about it without him.
That's okay. I'm sure he will give his.
He will. He'll
insight.
text us as he's listening to it. I'm sure he'll let us know. But I mean, I texted him a little bit. He actually sent me the breaking story, like screenshot something. Like, I was going to pick up food. I was getting dinner, and like I was just sitting in the car, sort of waiting. And he texted. I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, we started talking real quick about it, and obviously he was super excited, and I was like, damn, like good for him.
I'm gonna tell y'all both of y'all, fuck you, because I hadn't heard of this, and and apparently there was a group chat outside of our group chat that talked about this, only because Danny hit me up with a meme, and I didn't understand the meme because I hadn't heard it yet.
You're out of the loop.
Yeah, I was out of the loop. And the meme was something like, imagine that guy who just spent $500,000 on the
last touchdown ball. Yeah, I thought about that too after I saw. I think
like
I saw
the day
something
before,
similar.
right?
Yeah, it was recently that he spent that, bro. That's
tough.
Yeah, I mean,
Tough shit.
Is there some sort of like give back? Like, how does that work? Because
No, he now has a ball that he's
just a Tom Brady. I'm sure it's worth something, but not.
I don't know,
$500K or whatever the fuck that.
Now it's the second to last, or the football from his first retirement.
Yeah, fake retirement football.
Yep. I'm sure it'll still be worth something.
For sure.
All right, so I know that you are tired of this, and you're tired of everyone involved. However, it is fucking hilarious to me. So apparently, we all know the whole drama that's been going down with Kanye, Kim Kardashian, Pete Davidson.
No, I'm okay with this.
Yo, my man Pete Davidson came back hard though.
He laid that pipe again.
Well, I mean, it's official because apparently they posted something up just kind of showing that their relationship is official.
Yeah, I saw that.
With Kim Kardashian and everything.
Yep.
But I definitely have to bring up a couple of highlights on this this whole situation. So apparently Pete Davidson actually texted Kanye. And when I sent it to you,
Yeah.
I thought like maybe this is fake.
Yeah.
Because internet
It was pretty savage. Yeah. You thought there's a possibility that this could be.
Yeah, that this could be fake. And then I saw a video of Kanye talking about it. He's been texting me and all this stuff, and I was like, oh shit. So the best things that I'm gonna try to paraphrase here, right?
Highlights.
Pretty much, he reached out to him in defense of Kim Kardashian, and some of the things that he said is he pretty much told him he needs to calm down, and that he's been doing a little bit too much, and pretty much that he's lucky that that
That he's
Kim's
being so cool. Yeah.
he's lucky that Kim's the parents to his kids, and
she's
that she's like the
amazing
best mom ever. And everything like that. So, which Kanye West, the first thing he said,
Using profanity now.
Yeah, he said you need to grow the fuck up is the last thing that he wrote to him there, and he was like, "Oh, you're using profanity? Where are you right now?" And his response was, "I'm in bed with your wife," and he has the shirtless picture with his
sign?
finger, with the peace sign. And then he came out, was like, happy to see you out of the hospital, to which he started saying, it's wonders, it's amazing how if you get help, it would work wonders on your mentality. You should try it sometime. So he was just going savage, telling them like, yo, you don't know how much I defended you, with SNL, wanted to do skits on you, and I wanted everything to be smooth, so I stopped everybody from doing that, and pretty much told them, man, if you don't chill, if you don't fucking relax,
You're gonna get it.
I'm not gonna defend you anymore, and I'm not gonna stop anybody from doing anything. And Kanye was just adamant about them meeting at like Sunday service, and he's like, nah,
Sunday service.
let's link up. You can come to my room. We'll talk. We'll hash it out, but not in public, because I know that's what you want. So it was a very, very crazy situation there. But you can tell like Pete Davidson was holding himself back in honor of, Kim Kardashian, not wanting to start shit.
She was probably telling him, it's not worth it. Don't
Or
worry about
just
it.
like saying, like, like most of us would respect something like that, especially someone in the public eye like she is, just being like, yo, don't do it. Please don't do it. You would kind of listen to that. You know what I mean? So, but in this instance, I guess Pete Davidson ain't holding shit back. So I know we've said it before. We were anti.
Yeah,
and we gave him his flowers a while back.
I think after he smashed Kate Beckinsale, I think that was when
we just had to stop hating.
Not that that had anything to do with it, but there was something there that I was clearly missing before.
We admitted that we were just being haters, and we had to stop being haters.
There's no point in it. It's not good for anybody.
It's not good for anybody.
But like in the text, like I love the fact that Pete called himself Skeet. He's like, hey, it's Skeet.
Skeet.
That's how he started off the shit. Like, hey, it's Skeet. Cause like, so Kanye instantly knew what was up. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I picture
Can't
him
fuck with
reading that
comedians,
text, bro. He's on some shit.
Yeah, you can't fuck with comedians, man.
No. Skeet.
So I said all of that just to be like, just to kind of say like, you know what? He won the extra cool points for me. He's not backing down. He called Kanye a little pussy bitch.
Pussy bitch.
And I respect it. Mm-hmm. I respect it. Just like chill with the bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
So that was two of the biggest things that happened this week. And then the third one, apparently Elon Musk. Elon Musk challenged Vladimir Putin. Putin. Jeez. Yeah. Elon Musk challenged Vlad. Why is it a mouthful? I can't even say it. Elon Musk challenges Vladimir Putin to a single combat over Ukraine.
I don't even
what is he gonna? Yeah, what is he?
Like, is this like just a hand to hand, like a brawl? Like they're gonna shirts popped.
Yep, just me and you. It's a single combat.
Beast mode.
Yep,
dude, that would be kind of fire. I would pay for that.
I would pay for it too.
Pay-per-view, 100%.
Yep.
Oh, bro, could you imagine that?
He said
just them ready to fucking box it out like bare knuckle shit.
He came out. He said that he challenges Putin to a single combat amid the war.
Bro, Putin can fight. Like
I'm
I've
sure.
seen him on some like Krav Maga shit.
That's what it says. I hereby challenge Vladimir Putin to single combat. And then he says that the stakes are Ukraine, and that he wrote that Putin is a weakling and a little devil and all this shit. So I'm down. If you could get if Elon Musk and Putin is the main card, you put Pete Davidson versus Kanye.
He's the ref. Oh, I thought
Pete no. I'm saying you put Pete Davidson versus Kanye just under that. I'm paying for
I
it.
think Pete and Kanye might be the main event, bro. I
think so?
Elon and Putin.
I mean, just because of the
America,
state of the world, bro.
Yeah,
You
no,
know, the
I
state
get
of
it.
the
I get it.
world.
Like, I think I would be more hyped to see.
I'd be more hyped about.
I
yes.
think honestly, I think Putin would smash Elon Musk,
think
bro.
so?
Like, I don't think Elon Musk is a fighter. He was like just a tech dude, like a nerdy tech dude. Like Putin, like military shit, bro. Like KGB type shit. I feel like I feel like I mean, you've seen pictures. He's a pretty ripped dude as well. Like. I think Putin would, like, if it was just a hand-to-hand shit, I think Elon would get rocked.
I mean, at the fact that they're both super, super rich, and they have all of the, they have enough time to really make an impact on this. You know,
but I mean, when it comes down to it, it's just hand to hand, right? Just mano a
I'm
mano.
just saying,
all the
like,
money in the
have
world
all the
isn't gonna
time.
save you when you're
No, they have all the time in the world, and the money in the world statement was more so because they have all of the
you thought hire trainers,
hire trainers, and they don't have to go to a 9-to-5 job. They could just be training as much as possible. He can get ripped. Now, the only problem is, I think that that Putin is probably, well, actually, they're both fucking crazy, just in different ways.
Yeah. But I mean, dictator crazy is a little different than. Like,
I think
Elon
the fight,
Musk crazy.
I think the fight would be funny. It would just be hilarious on Elon's part, and just victorious on Putin's. I don't know.
I mean, imagine losing. Like, you're Elon, you get your ass beat, and then what? Russia has Ukraine, and that's it. Like that. We got it. Like, you know, what the fuck, bro? You just lost the whole country. That's a lot to put on your shoulders, dog. I don't even know what he's thinking.
Nah, he's not.
He's wild.
He's saying shit because he knows nothing will come from it.
But I wish Putin would call his bluff.
Oh, that would be
and
so
just
great.
Be like, they got to square up.
Yeah.
Like Kimbo style.
Come
Like an
here.
old Kimbo slice fight. Like just backyard.
Come
brawling.
over here. Yeah, come over here.
Come over here.
And
some backyard in Miami.
Yep.
Fucking A.
No, I mean, Putin would be like, you come over here. We'll do it. We'll get it done.
Like, no. Why don't you just come over here and then we'll arrest you for war crimes while you're on American soil? Yeah, no, that'd be. Like I said, I would pay for it wherever it was.
I'd be down for it. Yeah.
Fucking A.
Yeah, just stream that shit.
Stream that shit.
I'll be good for it. My daughter is blowing up my phone right now because she just got her first phone today.
Oh, what'd she get? What'd she get?
Well, no, she got her mom's hand-me-down phone, so it's not an iPhone or anything.
Okay.
But
that's how it starts, though.
I know, and I'm kind of sad that that's how it starts because she's 8. I was thinking like, man, when would be the right
like
time
12,
when I would
13.
introduce a phone? Yeah, and then she gets her mom's hand-me-down, and now she's texting me and video chat. I'm like, baby, I gotta do a podcast, and she just texted me right now like, are you like, can we talk right now? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Baby.
I can't right
we
now.
cannot talk right now.
But we'll get through this and then I'll call her. I'm just like, yo, she's just like blowing up my phone now, and I hate telling her no.
I know. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't like telling Cliff no.
No, but that's that's true. I tell Charlie no.
Oh hell yeah, I believe that shit.
Yeah, I tell Charlie.
You're like, hell no, Charlie. How is Charlie? Is
Because
Charlie
when they're puppies, it's whole different story.
Charlie getting bigger?
Yeah, she's getting big.
Oh yeah. Still crazy farts, I'm sure.
Oh man, that's the fucking worst, bro.
You'd think that she's like a grown ass man, but she's not.
Worse, bro.
That's
worse. Like, not. I don't know if I think I would like to think like me and my girl, like I don't like fart around her because she doesn't do it around me.
Okay,
it's like fair. A respect thing. It's not necessarily like if it happens, I don't think either one of us will bat an eye. Maybe we might make fun of it.
Right. You got to make fun of it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like never has it happened to where any one of us has did anything and the other one's just like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And it's like every fucking day with this dog, bro. It's like, yo, get the fuck out of here with that shit, yo.
And she's so tiny, too.
Yeah, and she's
just
tiny.
a little Frenchie, right?
Yeah.
Like just a little
I'm like
15-pound thing.
And that's the thing. Like
Noxious
she hasn't had the same food since we got her. Yeah. So and I keep trying to say like, yo,
Keep switching that food
can't
up.
keep doing that because that's fucking up her stomach, man. So, but whatever, man. I can only do what I can do.
Respect.
All right. So since Johnny's not here, he's the one who normally does the news. But I thought those things were.
Those
At least
are two solid news segments. Yeah. The biggest for sure.
For sure. All right. So, but you know what that means. HOLLYWOO. And this is where I shine. No. So recently, Deadpool 3 finally got a director. Obviously, Deadpool 3 is going to be the first Deadpool movie that is part of the MCU, and it's got its director with Sean Levy, who actually directed Free Guy and The Atom Project.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so
Loved
we're gonna
them
be
both.
we're gonna be getting a dope ass Deadpool movie. I'm very excited by that.
Did they say filming was supposed to start soon-ish, or was Ryan Reynolds still like on a 6-month sabbatical after Adam? I remember he was taking some sort of.
He was taking some
break,
time
right?
off
Yeah.
just to be with family. I think
And
the news made it worse than
cool.
what it was actually going to be. They made it seem like he was like going to be out of commission for a good while.
They did they called it like it wasn't like semi-retired. I feel like they were super dramatic about it.
They
when
were.
he was going to stop. Like it was like, oh my god, is he ever going to start again? And
Yep.
It's like, dude, let the man have some time with his fucking gorgeous wife and his kids. Like,
Yep.
let him do his thing.
And that was exactly what they tried to do. And but no, that's not the case. He even came out and said that that it was only going to be a few months. So, and which is which is, you know, given his schedule,
Yeah.
it's definitely
That probably flies by
warranted,
too,
so.
bro. And then you're like, shit, I gotta go on the road or do go wherever for however many months it takes to film some bullshit. Like that's a life, dude, that I don't think too many people think about. Even Jillisa, like all the filming. Like I wish I would have had more time to ask her about like actual filming and how that goes. Like to
Yeah.
really just like dive into some of that. Maybe next time she
said it
comes
was gonna
back.
be, she said it's like months at a time. for
Yeah,
sure.
like, and she was saying, like, you know, editing and shit, like the editing process is always, and we know that, like, post-production, that always takes a long time on big shit like that, but, like, just some of the, you know, the nitty-gritty shit that we don't get to find out about. It's not
Sure.
too often we, you know, have people that get to do that sort of dope shit.
So let's see what we can find with Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, Deadpool 3, it just says announced. So he has a bunch of stuff that's in post-production. A movie called Spirited that's in post-production. Imaginary Friends that's in pre-productions. A TV series short called Motherfucker. Father Mucka. Yeah. Like a lot of it is in pre-production, and then the ones that have been announced are Deadpool 3, Dragon's Lair, and Clue. Apparently he's in Clue.
Clue, huh?
Yeah. I'm assuming Dragon's Lair is probably an animated. Yep. Because it says 2022, and it's just under announced. So I'm like, oh, that's got to be voice acting.
Just laying down those vocal
Yeah.
tracks, bro. That's
Yeah.
such a dope.
I'd love to fucking do that, bro.
We should see if some gigs around here, just like commercials, anything. Like Stefan, like our man with the voiceovers there. I'm sure he's got the hookup.
Yeah. I mean, he's real
Smooth with it.
Real smooth with
bro.
it.
We don't have Stefan. I mean, you might. I don't have a Stefan voice.
I don't know if I have a Stefan voice. I keep hearing that I have a great
Smooth?
voice for podcasting, but you know me, I'm very
Voiceovers.
I'm very critical of my voice. I honestly don't even like listening to myself.
It took me a while.
It did, right? Now
So
you're
long.
just
And
like,
now,
fuck
now
it.
it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Even though I'm not wearing the headphones right this second, like because Johnny's not here, but yeah, it's not a thing anymore. Like it fucked with me hard for like the first few months that we did this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's just, now it feels weird, honestly, like not hearing me in there, like just hearing you, like it's weird.
Okay. Yeah, I hate listening to well, this is normal. It's editing. When I have to listen to every single word that I say, and I say, why did I say that? Or why did I say that in that way?
Yeah.
How can I change that for the next time? And then actually try to remember the next time. And then you sound off.
Yeah.
So I don't even worry about it anymore. So you get what you get, guys. Sorry.
For sure.
All right. So next in HOLLYWOO, Benedict Cumberbatch says that the Multiverse of Madness is on the same level of No Way Home. So
I gathered that.
I gathered that too.
I felt like that was just implied by like the trailer, like the amount of breakdowns and shit. Like it just seemed so dense. Like it just seemed like they were MCU is stepping their game up movie wise, at least in this storyline, this sort of multiverse storyline that started with Wanda. It feels like it's going harder and harder.
I'm not gonna lie. Even though I'm like super excited about it and I love what they're doing, and I'm very excited for Multiverse of Madness, but the whole multiverse thing, like the dopest thing that everyone is kind of holding on to is the possibility of these cameos, and that is really what is hyping these movies up so much, because No Way Home, the biggest thing that it had to it, it was a great movie.
It was.
But the biggest thing that it had for it was the cameos.
Yeah.
You know? And
that was literally like all the cheering in the theater was the camp. Like when you see somebody, you're like, oh shit. Like that's like you said, the story was good, but
that's why I have a hard time when people are comparing that to like Endgame, where it was more of the moment and like what was going on in that scene and everything. Opposed to, yo, we actually see this person in this movie and all three of them are together, you know, because that's mainly, that was the awe factor in that movie, right. Which is why I also like, and people giving me shit about it online, but like you're sitting here telling me that it's an Oscar worthy movie. Why? Because it hit your nostalgia. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was a good movie. It had some dope stuff. But Oscar is like, that's when I'm like, okay, we need to step that back a little bit.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I think that Multiverse of Madness is on the same path. We're going to see some dope shit that we just haven't seen in a movie up to this point. And we're going to see some cameos, and we're going to see some crazy shit when they're jumping back and forth within, you know, multiverses. And that right there is what I'm excited about.
I just rewatched No Way Home too.
I did too. Yeah.
And I did too. So much, I would say even better than when I saw it in the theater. Like just to be able to hear everything and, you know, relax and watch it again and really just sort of take it in. And
pause it if you have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You pause it if you have to, but like it just seemed,
smoke a little bit.
For sure. Some little edibles. You get your little
get the mood right.
And I got that dope ass new TV.
So that's true too.
70-inch LG, bro. It's hitting. But no, it was just so much better than the first time. Even when I watched it, it didn't feel long, like that 2.5 hour mark. Like it was just so good. And like I said, it's literally like you said, the cameos. They were really like, those are the highlights. You see fucking Matt Murdock and all this, you know, everything. And that movie, without those, if you take those out, it's probably like the second best Spider-Man movie. Like, it's not, holy shit, Oscar worthy. Like, that was
pretty much it.
That was it.
We got all of the elements that we really enjoyed of Into the Spider-Verse in live action with actors that we, you know, all the Spider-Man actors that we got, and without that, it wouldn't have been what it was. But and that's not saying that I didn't enjoy the movie. The movie's great. I love that movie. But yeah, So I'm looking forward to that, honestly. And you know what I'm even more excited about, because I know absolutely nothing other than little tidbits here and there, is Thor. And Thor Love and Thunder, I want to say, drops not too long after Multiverse of Madness, right?
Is that like, is it November?
Multiverse of Madness drops when?
May? Yes.
Okay. Multiverse of Madness drops. I'll look for the exact date here. May 6th.
Oh, okay, early May.
So early May.
Nice.
All right. And Thor Love and Thunder, which I haven't heard anything other than
like no pushbacks or anything. Like it hasn't been.
No, I haven't heard anything like that. But I was gonna say, other than what's his name, Christian Bale being in it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there are really not too much spills. Weren't we supposed to get a trailer for that soon? I thought on
I think
Twitter.
they're holding off as much as possible, and the reason for that is probably because something in this.
Is it tying in with Multiverse?
I would have to say so, because we should have received, like, that's why I'm trying to, if this ever loads.
Theaters are using fan art for Thor Love, and like that's how little they released. Just like that was happening with Spider-Man before the No Way Home. They were really holding that for as long as they could.
I'm gonna resorting to my phone even though I hate it. Let me see. Thor Love and Thunder.
I was thinking fallish. Something was saying November. Like in my mind, I have these vague timelines that I try to.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, but it's expected July 8th.
What?
Yes.
Holy shit. Okay.
Expected. It definitely says
summer
expected.
blockbuster.
It's in post production. So
I feel like they read that they were starting reshoots, like
possibly, yeah.
Now,
right. And that's what I'm saying. It's like
post production.
All that we know so far is that the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in this.
Yes.
Christian Bale is Gore the God Butcher. Which we just
talked about how
we talked about how that is, that he got that name because he killed a Celestial. Now we know what Celestials are in the MCU.
Right.
Because of Eternals. Damn. And there's just a lot that's in there. I haven't really looked too much in there because I just don't want to spoil anything for myself. But I haven't seen a trailer. I haven't seen literally anything.
Nothing. Just little.
So I'm very excited about
fun
it.
He's having. Like that's all I have to go on.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for that. I'm gonna be there day one. Same as Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to tell my girl, like, yo, are you watching this movie or not? Because next time I grab these tickets, if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. But
I need to know because I'm buying these tickets. That's what I do for Ash. I buy tickets and I'm like, hey, this is when we're going to the movies.
Sure.
Like, that's what's happening.
I'm gonna start doing that, and then if she ends up saying, well, I don't want to go, then I'm just gonna invite people.
Or Fandango will let you. Fandango will let you just return.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Up to the time.
I'm even willing
to
take the L on that ticket.
I mean, just return it. You don't need to take
it.
No L's
I
need
know,
to be taken, bro.
I'm just saying that's how serious it is.
He's
I'm
like,
willing
I'm gonna
to take the L.
I will spend double to see this movie by myself in peace.
Willing to take that L. Let me see. All right, and obviously we know that the Batman spinoff starring Colin Farrell, called The Penguin. It gets his own series ordered on HBO Max. They keep rehashing like these news articles, as if it's new when they announced it like months before. Because I could have sworn that like before the movie dropped that they announced that they were doing a Penguin spinoff.
I mean, I think they announced it, but I think that was just saying that like it's
Like
actually
confirming.
ordered. Yeah, like we
okay.
want this, we're paying for it, it's going to happen. I think before they're just like we're developing this. Maybe HBO will be, down with.
Well, now we know that GCPD is no longer. So,
right, and
yeah,
that made me scared. Like I thought. For some reason, I thought like the Penguin and that were like tied in, like he was going to be like Colin Farrell was going to be on that. And I was bummed. I was like, dude, like that movie came out. It was fire. Everyone loved the Penguin and his performance in it. Like, why would they do that? And then they're like, oh, no. HBO is like, we want this Penguin series because this character is fire, and Colin Farrell did an amazing job, and nobody really gave a shit about Gotham PD. Like, we don't, that's not something we want to delve into. If HBO wants to throw their resources at Colin Farrell, that's smart in my opinion, because like that was a killer. He stole almost all of his scenes in that movie, bro. He was so good. And
they said that
HBO saw it too.
He was in it for like a total of like 9 minutes.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even. I don't think. Like it was really low. And
but
we were worried about
that.
It didn't. No, like I still feel like he had a huge presence in that movie. Like his performances were so on point, and convincing that I was like, damn, like he's crazy. And like I always loved Colin Farrell to begin with, since like SWAT and The Recruit and shit, like old Colin Farrell action movies, like Minority Report. Remember, he's the bad guy in Minority Report, which he's Total not really Recall. A bad guy too often. Total Recall, total shit. Yeah, no, I loved him, and seeing him, you know, that he was going to get a nice crazy role in this universe was exciting, and then to have him kill it like that, like it could have easily been like a Jared Leto Joker situation where they're like, fuck this guy, he's not the Penguin. Like, you know, those comic book fans, you never know if they're gonna feel something, if they're
couldn't
not.
Do that with
like
his performance.
No, it was just on point. Like you couldn't penetrate that.
No. One of my favorite roles with Colin Farrell, and I'm bringing it up because I can't think of it, was one of his what's his name, the director, I lost his name. Something G.
McG,
yeah. What was the series of movies that he had? I'm trying to think of it right now.
I think McG directed a Charlie's Angels movie.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Is that what you're talking about?
It wasn't The Gentleman. No. It's one of the. Fuck, I lost it. I don't even know what the fuck it is. Was it The Gentleman?
Gentleman was Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie. My bad.
McG. How do you get McG? Johnny's gonna hear this and be like, "What the fuck is this motherfucker?"
Yeah, he's gonna.
Okay, yeah. No, Gentleman was dope.
No, Guy Ritchie. That scene, I love it. I see it everywhere now. When he's fucking with those kids in the restaurant. Yeah. That was such a dope scene.
Teaching him a little respect. He's got like the jogging suit on, like whatever that. He's
accent too. His actual
accent? He's Irish as fuck. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yep. I always forget where they're all from,
because they all do such a good American accent when they need to. Like it doesn't matter where they're from at that point. Like they're just chameleons. I don't know how it happens, but yeah, his accent was on point.
He was talking about how he was working with a vocal coach
for sure
on that accent for the Penguin.
Yeah,
and how they took it from like this
some random businessman. Yeah. Like I forget. I saw that. I don't remember who he took it from, but like. That accent that he used in that movie,
was perfect.
Oh, it was so perfect, dude. It was so perfect. Like the sweetheart, when he called them sweetheart, and the line, like I think about that like a couple times a week. Like I don't know why, I just randomly pops. I mean, it's like easy sweetheart. Like
that's your shit. Though,
it's so good. Yeah,
you like the accents and all that shit. I need to start getting more into that, man. Because it would be dope to just instantly switch. Accents the same way Jillisa did with the Russian.
Yeah, the Russian. That was just like a Black Widow, bro. Like that was
that was actually pretty on point.
For sure.
You know, when people do that, it's surprising.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. All right, let's see what else we have. No, it's very unexpected. All right, so we had some pushbacks too. So apparently
we did. That's right.
Yeah. So Black Adam was pushed back 3 months. So you know they're gonna. I think it's mainly DC.
I would say these were DC pushbacks. We don't really give a shit about that. Like, that's not. That's not the end of the world.
I'm interested in Black Adam.
They moved Shazam up though, right? Like they did the 3 pushbacks, and then Shazam was like December.
And I was gonna say that they pushed that one back. But the main reason why I am so excited for I don't even say excited, but I want to see Black Adam, but it's because it's part of that Shazam universe, and Shazam was actually a good movie.
Shazam was so good.
Yeah, it was one of the best DC movies to drop.
Absolutely.
And hardly anyone ever talks about it. now everything is Peacemaker and Suicide
And James
Squad.
Gunn, now it's James Gunn's DC verse.
Right. But that specific movie was actually really good, and and this is part of that universe. So that's why I'm like giving it the benefit
Right.
of the doubt.
Yeah.
Because let's all face it, as much as I love him, The Rock plays The Rock, and it's like,
Is the James Gunn verse, is that canon? I know this is off topic real quick, but just thinking about it, like, was that, or is like the Batfleck, is like, do we know what's DC canon? As far as that shit goes, like Flashpoint, because that has Batfleck in that, right? That was the last one?
and that is why it's so confusing.
Yes,
DC
very much.
Is very confusing right now.
Yeah.
Because they promoted the shit out of the Snyderverse. But the Snyderverse, they already said like there's nothing to salvage there.
Yeah.
Yet we're getting Flashpoint that has characters from the Snyderverse. Then we have the Batman, which was supposed to be the Ben Affleck written, directed,
Right.
and starring Batman movie, which was obviously supposed to be Snyderverse, that got canned, and we got the movie that we got with Matt Reeves, which is awesome. But that's in its own universe.
Right. Completely separate.
Completely separate. And then we have what James Gunn is doing, which referenced and has certain characters that are involved in the Snyderverse, but they did a soft reboot, which means the characters are here, their personality is here. However, we are not acknowledging
that they did what you think they did.
Yeah, that these movies took place. So it's like
DC is a clusterfuck right now, and it's sad because there's really good content in there.
Yeah,
and I hope it doesn't get lost in this smorgasbord of weird what's canon,
and that's
what's
what I was
not canon, and we love our canon. Like we need to know, like,
well,
what should I care about?
I think and here's where it would fall off. I think because like to viewers like you and I, and probably a lot of our audience, we can keep up with that. Right, we can keep up with it. We can understand that, hey, this is a different universe from that one. We can separate. But what's law in these situations is the box office, right? And a lot of these things can fall under the radar of your average viewer, and they'll be so fucking confused as to what's going on. Why is this one not connected with that one? Especially because now we're used to Marvel being connected, like every movie is connected with each other. They like people got used to that,
and intelligently too. Nothing is forced. Like it feels natural. It's interconnected. Correct. It's one fucking masterpiece.
So the problem with that is that it set an expectation that superhero movies are all connected, right, in some way or form. So like, and they'll know Superman, Batman, like all of those are supposed to be connected. But now like there's 3 Batmans. The Batgirl movie that's supposed to come out on HBO Max, like that one is not connected to, that one has Michael Keaton. So which is coming out. Flashpoint, which is deviated from the Snyderverse. Confusion,
right? It's pulling Tim Burton into this motherfucker at that point. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
You like you said too, Jokers. So like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, like is not connected to anything. It's its own thing. But now we're getting a sequel. We're getting 2 sequels from that. And then, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
They're mentioning that the Batman, obviously, like the biggest thing at the end of that is possible. Like it's not even a possible. It's a Joker cameo.
Yeah, it's a Joker cameo.
It's a Joker cameo, and they've already released like stuff about that and how it's Joker before he was actually Joker, but he's slowly going mad in Arkham, and that's the But it's a whole different actor, everything, not connected to anything,
right? Yeah.
It's just getting fucking so convoluted that to us we'll be able to keep all of that in check, But your
That's
average
our job.
moviegoer,
That's our job, is to keep that in check.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
But your average moviegoer, which you have to
Like my
band
dad,
everyone together.
I think about my dad. When I think average moviegoer, I picture my dad going to the movies like, what's this Batman? Oh, is this like the Michael Keaton Batman? Like,
yeah,
no, it's not.
no, it's
Don't disrespect him like that.
So I don't know. They're all over the fucking place. With
They
that.
are, bro. They are.
And speaking of Flashpoint and or let's just say the Snyderverse, right? Flashpoint has been delayed to June 23rd, 2023. So more than a year now before we get Flashpoint, which they gave a trailer, like a little teaser trailer.
Isn't
like
it filmed? Like, it's done, right? Like, what on earth could be a reason to hold a movie like that for a year and a couple months when it's done, bro?
I think they're
What is going on over there? It's fucking me
they're
up.
shooting themselves in the foot.
I want them to at this point. Like, they don't deserve success when they fuck around like that, in my opinion. Like, just give Matt Reeves control of DC at this point. Let him start a new DCEU that becomes canon, and let's roll with it.
I'd
at
be
this
happy
point,
with that,
let's make it simple for the consumer, for the industry.
Let's have Matt Reeves and James Gunn just put their heads together,
sit
and
down in a
out.
room with a bottle of scotch and just hash out the next fucking decade of the DCEU.
Yeah,
like Kevin Feige style. Like, just do it. It's possible.
It is possible. It is currently in post-production.
Post-production for a year? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
That's crazy.
And Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has been delayed to March 17th, 2023.
Also done. Just sitting on the shelf. Like, you know what? We're good on money this year. We have enough. So just keep those. Put them somewhere. We don't care.
I think they don't want to go against Marvel. And Marvel has the next 10 years planned out. So
they might as well just stop. Just fold up shop, dog. Just pack. At that point, just pack it up. Because you're done. You lost.
Yeah, that is insane, bro. That is insanity. I hope, and I'm not looking forward to Aquaman. I'm looking forward to Flashpoint because I'm holding
Aquaman.
I'm
just
holding
Jason Momoa. That Jason Momoa factor is for me is
I fuck with Jason Momoa.
Apparently
Just the last movie I wasn't a huge fan of.
Aquaman, the first Aquaman.
Yeah, the first one I wasn't a huge fan of. I thought that the underwater sequences could have been done better.
They were kind of cheese stick, yeah.
Yeah,
with the bubbles, like, oh, look at the underwater because there's like it's like SpongeBob underwater. Like, are they really underwater? Like, I can't tell. It's bullshit. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I overlooked that. I don't
overlook shit like that. Like, I'm a very visual person. Like, I can possibly even overlook some like plot holes in the storyline. If the visuals are amazing, that's why. Maybe Avatar is not the best.
Avatar.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's not the best.
It's not the best plot.
No,
it's not the best writing.
That's what I'm saying.
But
the visuals were amazing.
Yeah.
So if the visuals are amazing and like I can forgive like the plot holes and shit like that. But if the visuals are trash, I could care less.
I mean, it's like watching a cheesy '80s movie. Where at that point you're just laughing at it.
And a lot of people are like they're into that shit. Where you watch a cheesy ass 80s movie and they love the corniness.
That's the nostalgia factor, I think, for a lot of people. Our Spider-Man sort of nostalgia, I think, for a lot of people, the 80s. Usually people a little bit older than us that were like a little more mature in the 80s and they saw that. I think a lot of that has to do with nostalgia. Because, I mean, everyone knows those aren't good movies. Like Scanners and shit when the dude's head blows up. Have you seen that? Have you ever seen that? That's the, like, for practical effects in the 80s, like I feel like that was pinnacle effects. Like they don't get any better than that, but it's still cheesy. Like watching that.
See, but I'm thinking even more cheesy than that, right? Because that was probably still dope at that time.
Yeah, no, I mean that's still dope now. When you watch that Scanner scene, but like
Toxic Avengers, like things like that, where it was cheesy even back then.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who really love those type of movies, but it was like, to me, if that shit was cheesy back then, I'm like, I can't fucking watch that shit.
No.
And I'm not gonna keep watching it now that shit has evolved tremendously, I'm not going to keep looking back like, oh my God, yes, this is so the cheesier the better. I've just never been that person.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like cheesy movies, but like I said, for me, it all comes down to nostalgia. I like it because it reminds me of something or a different time, but like I can admit that they're not.
And that's probably why I still, till this day, still love Goonies and you hate it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that nostalgia to it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But The Sandlot, still great. Still solid.
Oh,
it's not even
100%.
cheesy.
No, not at all. That's
we can all
factual.
relate to children who get their first chewing tobacco experience on a roller coaster.
Yeah. That fucked with me for a long time, dude. That throwing up, like I was scared of chewing tobacco for a long time.
I didn't even realize. I don't think that it was chewing tobacco. I'm like, what? Yeah, like, why are they chewing beef jerky?
Why are they chewing beef?
And
why is it making them throw up?
Make them throw up.
Is it strong beef jerky?
Yeah.
I don't understand. But yeah,
I have to mention this because it was a conversation with since we mentioned my daughter earlier, but. Apparently, the new movie that came out on Disney called Turning Red.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know what.
Yeah, and my daughter came out on Friday and she was excited. She came over and she was like, we do movie night for the kids and they get
popcorn.
popcorn. They get to pick their movie.
Yeah,
she was very excited. She was like,
fire.
"Can we watch Turning Red?" I'm like, "Absolutely! It's on the Disney. It's on Disney Plus app. Like we're good." Like I'm good.
Don't even got to worry about it. Yeah.
I let them watch it. I watch it with them. I'm just like, okay, well, like certain things I personally, like with my experience as kids, as a kid, like the things that went over my head, I kind of throw that factor into stuff like that, when it comes to the kids. So as long as they're not, yelling out F-bombs every 2 to 3 fucking sentences,
right?
Generally pretty good, So apparently, and it's no surprise, right, that this and the storyline has to do with a girl who turns into a red panda as she, gets to her puberty. She's a teenager. She turns into a red panda. It's something in her family, and they actually mention, like her mom thought that something was going on with her, and they mention a period and they show some like pads. So my ex actually reaches out to me like on Sunday. We've already seen this movie and she's like, "Are you planning on letting, Alani watch this?" And I'm like, "She did on Friday. Why was she not supposed to? Like these are things you got to tell me prior to her coming over, but
prior to movie night.
Whatever." She came over, movie night, requested it. I said, "Sure." And I saw it. And she was like, "Well, did you see that they mention periods and that they show pads?" And I'm like, "I did see that, yeah." And you know what? She saw that and didn't even acknowledge it. Didn't
think twice
about like what are they talking about? Didn't ask me, "Hey, Dad, what does this mean?"
Yeah.
Because she's 8.
Yeah,
and it's not on her mind.
Right.
And it seemed like she was like trying to get at like, I don't, maybe that's not appropriate. But she ended the conversation there. And I was like, really? Like, you're like,
what was the point of this conversation? Like, why did you text me that? Like, what is your problem with it?
Exactly. But apparently, I was talking to Jillian about it. And apparently it's like the big thing. Like it's in the news.
Yeah. On
that
Twitter
people are
too.
talking about it.
People are tweeting about it. Like it's a thing.
So why
That's
is
how I
it?
heard about it.
My thought is, right, if your child, first of all, a lot of things go over your kids' heads. Right.
So much.
So they're not even thinking like when they hear period, they're not going to be like, "I'm going to bleed." Like that's not their thought. Right. They just either it hits them or it doesn't. Like it, they acknowledge it or they don't. And they're going to ask you, "What does this mean?" And if they don't, they didn't even pay attention to that. Yeah. Like it wasn't something that they'll look back at that movie when they're older and they'll go, "Oh shit, that's exactly what they mean." Oh,
figure it out for themselves.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
But if and a lot of these parents are actually like trying to avoid that conversation is what I'm thinking was the gist of that. You know what I mean?
Like what's going to happen when it's time to actually have that conversation?
And that's where we were talking about it. Like, is it a better discussion to have when they're freaking the fuck out that they are, that they're bleeding?
They're having a fucking period. Like,
yeah.
Remember that movie we saw with the turning red and the panda? Like, yeah.
Nah, man, if your kid acknowledges what they said in that movie,
Right.
and they're curious about it, hey, conversation to be had. This opened the doorway for that. And this wasn't even a conversation that I was planning to have on this podcast, but it reminded me of that shit. But I'm just like, like people nowadays are trying to avoid important conversations with their kids, trying to shelter them from something that is going to happen anyway. Like you avoiding these parents that are avoiding a conversation about something that is going to happen.
They're in for some tough times.
Yeah, like what? Like really? Like this is a thing? You want to shelter your kid from this that they're going to experience?
Like it's pornography or something.
And it's guaranteed. It's not even like a off chance. For a little girl, it's guaranteed it is going to happen. Mm-hmm. So you might as well have that conversation. Sorry.
Or at least plant the seed.
Yeah.
Like even if she doesn't ask, like maybe she'll reflect on it someday. Like, oh, I remember that movie where they talked about this. This isn't that weird. I'm not dying. I'm normal. Like,
yeah,
so many good things could come from just having seen it.
And that's where we came. That's where me and Jillian, you know, me and my girl came to the conclusion of is just like, so what? Like, so if you have to talk about it, then you just discuss like, hey, at some point of your life, this is going to happen. And when it does, just let me know. And then this is what we will do in order to make sure that you're good.
When I was in school, we learned about that stuff, like periods and bodily functions and stuff. Like it was 5th grade, actually.
5th grade. Okay. Fifth grade, so just before.
Just before middle school. Because in 5th grade, you're like 10 or so. So, I mean, she's got a couple more years before, but it's not far off. Like it's not like something you don't have to worry. Like, that's huge, dude.
I actually was having a conversation. I'm sorry that this is where it went, but I was having a conversation with somebody who's my age, and she said that she felt awkward because she got hers when she was 9, which is right around that same age. No, it's right around that same age.
Yep.
Where my daughter is. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're one of those parents where this topic came up from this movie. Just let them fucking watch the movie, and if they have questions, answer their questions unbiased. And this goes for anything, you know what I mean? Like obviously you don't want to show your kids porn, but any movies that garner a conversation with your kids, talk to them honestly. Mm-hmm. Get them prepared for life at a much younger age, and
Don't lie about.
Don't
stuff.
shelter them.
Don't make stuff up either.
Right, because they're gonna fucking hate you.
Yeah, they're gonna find out. They're gonna look stupid someday. Like it's not gonna be good.
This is what my mom or dad told me.
Like, what do you mean? Like periods aren't like when the body is too tired. Like it's just some bullshit that parents make up because they don't want to have that tough conversation and like. That can be bad at some point too. So I would just be honest.
Yeah. No, you have to be. All right. So do we have anything else to add to this stellar conversation?
It has been such a journey today from Denzel to bees and periods. Like wild episode, bro. Like my head is still spinning right now. I don't think I have anything else to add other than I miss Johnny. We miss you, buddy.
Does he make the episode that much better?
Johnny helped me with my first period. He was there. He told me what to do and how to take care of it. So he's going to hear that and be like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, man.
Miss you, Johnny.
On that note, guys, thank you for tuning in for this entire episode. If you made it this far, we know that you absolutely love us because... Jeez.
Because gee whiz.
Because gee whiz.
Gee willikers.
Guys, if you enjoy our content, please make sure to share this content with friends and family that you feel would also enjoy this content. We are available on all podcast apps. If you would prefer to watch us on YouTube, go ahead and check us out, subscribe on there, and hit the like button if you watch one of our episodes on there. That helps us greatly. Also, if you want to help us financially, go to insensitivemerch.com and cop some gear, man. Stay drippy with Drippy. We have some dope Batman shirts that we still have up there. Also, if we're just not nerdy enough and you need some extra nerdiness in your life, you want to know the ins and outs of comic books and all that stuff, hit up DFAT. Look up DFAT Entertainment on your favorite podcast app, and you will find a list of podcasts that will scratch that nerdy itch. All right. But other than that, again, Jillisa, thank you so much for joining us today. Peace.
Peace.